The I AM Discourses of St. Germain, Volume 2, by Godfrey Ray King. The I AM Discourses to the Minutemen, by beloved St. Germain. Discourse 1. My joy is very great this morning in having this opportunity to speak to you, and may I shake the hand of every one of you. Even though I may be invisible to you, yet shall I shake the hand of each one, and I shall hold your hand if you stand by the light of your presence until your victory is won. I thank our Blessed One for having brought forth this that will one day become known throughout America, and I thank her with all my heart and gratitude for having established in activity which will release unto those using it that intensified energy which everyone needs today. Let us, for a moment, direct our attention to the early days of America, when from different parts of the world came those seeking freedom, and when their freedom was threatened, then did that power of light go forth to bring them the assistance and protection. Gentlemen, it was my first great privilege to stand unseen most of the time, pouring forth that mighty energy to mankind in those days, encouraging, strengthening, and sometimes appearing visibly and giving them the encouragement needed to go forward. For we knew that America was to be free, and that America shall remain free forever. This frightful, sinister thing that has its claws upon most of the world shall not have its claws upon our America. It is the heart of light of the earth, and some place, some spot on earth must be kept clean and free, that the powers of light may hold their dominion to spread to the rest of the world. The blood-drenched lands of Europe cannot be used, and in those centuries, when I worked in France, England, Germany, Italy, and Switzerland, and the various parts of the country, even in the Orient, I tried every way to pour forth such a power of radiation that would harmonize the people and enable them to see. Yet human selfishness became the dominant thing within the consciousness of the people. I mean, those who established themselves at the heads of the government and, on the slightest pretense, would throw themselves against each other for no reason at all. That is why, dear people, today, without the understanding of this mighty I Am presence, there is no hope for mankind. There is nothing by which they can be established and sustained in the forward activity of peace. Peace cannot come to the world through the intellect. Peace has to come through the feeling and the understanding of a power and presence that is God in action. God is not a religious thing. God is the law of life, which is beating your heart and every human being's heart on earth. Therefore, when mankind come to understand that it is God giving them life, and that God is practical in your physical world and wants you to have the happiness, the success, and the achievement that every heart desires, then that power of light that beats your heart, calls into action, will produce that success for you if your feeling world is kept harmonious. That is what mankind has not understood today, the need of harmony. If this is sustained for a sufficient period, the powers of the presence can flow through to do its perfect work, which is purity and perfection. The only reason your presence has not produced perfection for you is because of inharmony in the feeling world, which clothes that energy. You will notice the chart, that ray of light that comes into your head and anchors in your heart, then goes out into your world. When that light is clothed with discord, it carries that inharmony out into your world. People have not known that, but that inharmony goes forth, and just when you think you have achieved success, that quality begins to act, and the person to whom the inharmony has gone is no longer interested. This is how inharmony in the feelings acts. People feel discouraged, discontent, depression, or whatever quality of feeling is acting in their worlds. It goes forth to the individual whom you are contacting, and they feel it. Then you do not succeed. Well, if before you started out, and I plead with you, gentlemen, before you start out for any business achievement, go by yourself. Call the presence to charge you with its happiness, first with its harmony. Then say, Mighty I Am Presence, go forth in your mighty radiance before me and harmonize the person, place, and condition that I need to contact. Then you will find the way prepared. Then your success will be assured because the powers of your presence have gone forth, and the individual's presence and your presence are one. Therefore, all of the individual's presence of God, which beats each human heart, want perfection. Then, if you are harmonious and you pour forth enough love and harmony to the individual or group you are contacting, they will feel that, and they will love to assist you. And that is success. If you go to a person or group with great antagonism within you, they feel that. Nothing in the world can prevent it. That is why humankind has not achieved success. They have not understood the laws of their being. You feel that radiation going forth before you, and if it is discordant and antagonistic, it produces that condition in the other individual, and you fail. The great law of life, gentlemen, is so magnificent if understood. In those days so long ago, when I did not understand them either, when that time came, and after going through tremendous experiences in the human octave, the same as all mankind is going through, then I too saw that the only thing that stood between me and my present position in the light was my own feeling. That feeling became rampant and filled with anger and antagonism, was the thing that had prevented my success, and is the only thing that prevents all mankind from having the happiness and success that is due everyone. Gentlemen, please feel that your God light that beats your heart is the power of all achievement. If you keep yourself harmonious enough to call that power forth, or shall I say first, to let it flow forth, then as you come to understand that the presence is there that gives you life, you can call it forth with an intensity that is inconceivable, even to your present understanding. You will see how that presence is the power of the universe and is the power of your achievement, no matter what it is you fix your attention upon, so long as it is constructive. Your higher mental body, which is your discriminating, selective intelligence, will not permit a greater power of that to flow forth if you are going to misuse it, because it will only cause imperfection, and it will not allow that to go forth, only that which you have accumulated. You may wonder sometimes how it is that men and women go forward so long doing destructive things. There are two reasons. First, perhaps in some past embodiment in which they have lived, they have called forth about their being tremendous energy. It is charged and held there because for the sake of expression, selfishness held all that energy about them and did not allow it to go forth. Remember, you are the decreer of how that energy is going to act for you when it goes forth. Therefore, they had accumulated that. Then, for any destructive purpose, they can only use the accumulated energy that has been drawn about their bodies to produce destructive things. When that is used up, they are like a balloon without any air in it, and they cannot get more energy again. Then they fail. Now then, when individuals have come to understand this presence, no matter what the mistakes have been, please do not dwell upon them. If you know you have made mistakes, call on the law of forgiveness. Say, beloved, mighty I am presence, see that I do not do it again. And with great joy and strength, call on the law of forgiveness. Say, mighty I am presence, I call you to take command, and see that I do not do these things anymore, that I do not make all these mistakes, because now I know that your intelligence is directing me, and I abide in sufficient stillness that it can come through and direct me. Remember, blessed people, that kindness is the greatest thing in the world if you wish to achieve. No matter what someone does to you, go on that great kindness and serenity. Then the power of your presence can flow through and correct it. Do not ever take an arrogant attitude and strut the human vanity. I shall tell you what to do. Then you have antagonized, and no good can come of it. If you will remember, don't try to tell individuals what they should do. If necessary, endeavor, if they care to listen, to point out the law, but never allow it to appear as a personal thing. If the human element in them is strong, they will feel antagonistic if they think someone is undertaking to govern them. After all, no one has a right to do that. The only thing, gentlemen, you are concerned with is the perfection of yourself and your world. There is nothing selfish about that. Then as you perfect yourself, that radiation will go out to those who feel that perfect activity. And remember, the radiation that goes out is self-luminous, intelligent substance. You do not see it with the physical sight, yet in the feeling world, it is very tangible as any physical thing which you touch here. That is what mankind has not understood, that this radiation which goes out is a tangible thing to everyone. Of course, among people who have studied metaphysics, they are inclined to think they are the only people that are sensitive. That is a mistake. Everybody on earth is tremendously sensitive, more than they realize. They feel these things. If you understand the law, pour out love and kindness. I do not mean love as a sentimental thing. Love has nothing to do with sentiment. Love is self-luminous, intelligent substance of the presence that goes forth at your call. But when we speak of divine love, we refer to that self-luminous, intelligent substance, which is energy and substance, which you need to draw into action to go out and perform its performing activity in the world. Dear ones, today, in this wonderful opportunity, remember that there are a number of you who lived in those early days of America. Some of you who knew that I actually appeared in the visible, tangible body in Independence Hall were a part of that great achievement. Now you are a part of that greater achievement, the victory of the light, and by the power and use of the sword of blue flame shall your victory and America's be won. Gentlemen, only the night before last, the most magnificent cosmic activity went on over your America. We feel that we have taken the first mighty step to that invincible protection of America because of the call of the beloved brothers and sisters of light who have called so earnestly to the presence for the protection of America and the blessing of her people. You may not quite realize it, but I assure you there is no thing so important in the world today as this protection of America. For America must be held the cup of light. If not, the light goes out for the earth. The powers of light have been called into action by the achievement that has thus far been attained. Beloved ones, the messengers have been courageous and strong, and you have joined in that great courage and strength in making this call, and these mighty decrees are a wonderful part of this which we accomplished the night before last. Oh, It is magnificent. I cannot take the time to go into it or even give you a fragmentary idea of what occurred, but be assured that everything possible is being done for the protection of America and the setting free of her people. You, gentlemen, are the power that can bring forth this great light by your call to the presence, far more than you know. As the men all over America are realizing this and making this call, then remember your blessed wives represent the feeling world of mankind. As you enter into that joy and freedom and give each other freedom, then will the power of light descend into and throughout the world and perform its magnificent service. It is so wonderful once mankind understands their obligation to each other and what can be done in their call. May the light of your mighty I Am presence flood your being and your world. Take command, produce its perfection, hold its dominion there, and send you forth the ambassadors of light, charged with the power of light and radiation of your beloved mighty I Am presence, which floods your world with its harmonizing, perfecting activity and sets you free in the victory of the light, the victor over all limitations, and the glory of your ascension in the wisdom of your presence. Beloved ones, it is the law of life. Everyone, one day, must purify and raise the purified human form into the higher mental body, and then into the electronic body. There, you are free forever from the wheel of birth and rebirth, the only means in the world by which you can be set free. Then, in that achievement, turn and render that great service to the earth, as we are doing, until all are lifted free forever from the human activity of life. When the great service is being rendered in dissolving human creation, dissolving and consuming the accumulation of mankind, remember, gentlemen, the consuming of 2/3 of the human creation of every individual who is sincere in the light has been accomplished. Therefore, the pressure of your own human creation is so much less that, with your earnest attention for a short time to your presence and the release of its mighty energy, it floods you and your world with its success, happiness, courage, strength, and its perfection. I thank you.